Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Well, hello there. Come, have a seat. Let me tell you a tale of 3 circles. History is cyclical, and so are Terraria boss fights. I have come to worship the circle, and after today, so will you. But why a circle? To kill MoonLord, of course. There's really only 3 bosses between me and MoonLord, and only one of those bosses is required. Empress of Light and Duke Fishron are both optional boss fights. However, we ball. I promised an Empress fight, and I raise you a Duke Fishron fight. There isn't much prep left. All I need is boss summons, which I spent several hours farming for. I just got the Blessed Apple. And then it is a question of how to kill the bosses, which brings me back around to the circle. You see, the circle is one of the most fundamental movements in Terraria. 90% of bosses are best dodged by going in a circle, or using a circle. More on that later. Duke Fishron will be our first example. Duke Fishron is a boss with 3 phases, and there is a very, very easy way to deal with these phases. I did not figure that out for a while, but you will come to learn that the answer is circle, circle, and a circle. In his first phase, Duke Fishron has 3 attacks. The first is 5 consecutive dash attacks, the second is bubbles, and the third is Sharknadoes. Hold on a second. Brace yourselves for the wildest storm yet. Sharknado 7 is blowing its way into Disney World. Get ready to witness the epic fusion of thrill and fantasy as Disney takes on the challenge of filming scenes for the iconic Sharknado franchise inside their parks. That's right, film crews were just spotted filming Sharknado 7 inside Disney World. I don't know what's more terrifying, the fact that there's already 6, that there's going to be a 7, or that an ancient shark god is the reason the Sharknadoes happen in-universe. Oh right, fighting a giant shark. My bad. Phase 2 is almost the exact same thing, except the bubbles come out a little differently. There's only 1 Sharknado instead of 2, but it's a lot bigger. And there's 3 dashes instead of 5, and they're much quicker. I would argue that once you get it down, the enraged mode, second phase, is actually easier than the first phase. But then there is phase 3. And phase 3 dumbfounded me. It cooked me. I had no idea. What the heck is that? He just goes invisible and then you die. That's it. So we did a little experimenting. After a little bit of experimenting, I finally figured out how to beat the boss. Now I know what you're thinking. How? Well, it's really quite simple. Step 1 is make a circle with a unicorn. So the unicorn, if you dash in a direction and then activate the unicorn, you start at full speed, which is faster than Duke Fishron dashes. Ergo, if you just loop him in a circle, you outrun him and kill him. But PB, I hear you say, he still teleports in his 3rd phase. How is a circle going to help you there? I told you we'd get to that. Or using a circle. More on that later. This circle is the very first item you get from killing a boss. That's right. The Shield of Cthulhu. The plan? Stand in a singular spot and dash into Duke Fishron using the iframes from the dash attack to just completely phase through Duke Fishron's dash attack. And you time it in a 1, 2, 3 motion because Fishron will dash once, teleport, dash twice, teleport, dash 3 times, teleport, and then dash once, teleport. Once you get that pattern down, it's just a matter of swinging your sword. Would you believe me when I tell you I didn't get what I wanted? After a few more deaths, I finally got enough treasure bags to maybe get the wings. I wanted the wings. I needed the wings. Which brings me to arguably the hardest fight in the entire game. You see, last video I said this, that are up for debate, like the Terra Prisma would be pretty good, but I don't have the gumption to go farm for a Terra Prisma because of what that entails. We'll do it later, I promise. I'm gonna regret that promise. Oh yeah, we're regretting. I did decide that a source of infinite flight will be necessary for the fight, so I summoned a Pumpkin Moon. And so the reason I summoned a Pumpkin Moon is because in the Pumpkin Moon, you can get a Witch's Broom. And a Witch's Broom is a mount that gives you infinite flight at a decent speed. It's not like crazy good, but it lets me stay in the air rather than have limited flight like my wings do. The other thing that I did is I spec'd fully into a summoning build with menacing for damage, because when Empress of Light deals damage to you during the daytime, you just die. It doesn't matter what your defense is, nothing matters, you just die. And it may not look like daytime, but in the Get Fixed Boy seed, daytime Empress is the only Empress that is summoned above ground. So if you fight Empress above ground, she's always daytime. If you fight her below ground, she's always nighttime. And there's still technically a day-night cycle, it's just harder to see, but as soon as the moon comes up, she despawns. So you still only have that one amount of time to finish the fight. With that information heard and hopefully understood, this was my experience fighting Empress of Light for the very first time. And then just as I was figuring out the pattern, things changed at half health. Oh, that's terrifying. That got a little harder. There was a singular piece missing. There were two pieces missing. UFO staff, because that is the best summon in the game at this point, and it doesn't miss as much as the sharks do. And that was easy. I just summoned the Martian event and then killed the UFO. With the Terra Blade, that is a rather simple task. You just need to dash through the laser and stuff. The other thing is to hone my circle skills. Okay, but that one was just a warm-up. Here's how to win the fight. Empress has a very specific attacking pattern, and this is why she is either the hardest boss in the game or really, really easy. Because you either know the pattern or you don't. And if you don't know the pattern, you have absolutely zero room for error. If you do know the pattern, that doesn't matter. So here's how the fight goes. She begins with this bullet spray, which means you need to be moving up and left to get away from them because they're tracking. And as you're moving up and left, she's going to dash under you. This dash will always miss if you begin the dash by moving in one direction and don't chicken out. You cannot turn the other way. Once you've committed, you've committed. Either that or Rod of Discord. Only hope. She's gonna mix in some of that star attack that you saw near the beginning and some of this rainbow-like attack where the stars spin out. The trails of the stars deal damage, so you need to be moving away from both of these effects. But they're both slow and very, very telegraphed, so you can respond to them. You don't need to know they're coming. The next thing is this line attack, and it's going to move in a circle centered around you, and you can respond with just the exact same circle but slightly ahead. If you're already moving up, move up and to the right. If you're already moving down, move down and to the right or left. Just follow the angles the swords are going and move ahead of them, and you'll be fine. When she teleports and phases out like that, even though you're right there and she doesn't dash at you, she's adding a new attack, two new attacks to the rotation. The very first one is going to be this one. I don't know how to describe it, but you just got to avoid them. What I would recommend is when this happens, have your Rod of Discord out. And if you're in a bad spot and you can't weave your way out, teleport. The last attack in her arsenal is this weird thing that makes a circle out of lines. That's right, it's another circle, and you all know what your response is? It's another circle. Just go in a circle, but move away from the Empress, because she's gonna do the rainbow thing right afterwards, and you'll get caught on one of the trails without even noticing. So finish your circle moving away from the Empress. After a couple of close calls, and strictly following the circle pattern, success is at hand. Look at these fools in a cult worshipping. Wait. What? What's that? The cultists are worshipping a circle. The MoonLord's emblem is a circle? No. No, I've been tricked. I've been fooled. I know what I must do. I must break free from my chains. Free myself from these shackles. I'll do what no one ever thought was possible. I'll kill him with a line. We must go quickly. No time to waste. The pillars must fall. The items must be crafted and the MoonLord must be slain before it's too late. Unlike the previous fights, I will not be circling around him. I will be going away in a straight line as to not grant him more power with the circle. I have failed you, and for that I am deeply sorry. And just like that, with MoonLord defeated, my world can finally rest easy, free from his tyranny of the circle. In all honesty, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you think it was worth subscribing, make sure to do that down below. And I hope you enjoy the next one. If this video gets to a cool amount of likes, I don't know, 500, because I really don't want to do this, I'll do the Calamity Inferno mod, but that would take a lot of time and a lot of editing, so I want to make sure you guys want it. Bye.